Good afternoon or good evening, depending on the time of the day, to Hoosiers and Hoshians alike. My name is Brandon Sakbun, 43rd Mayor of Terre, Haute, Indiana. My guest on this week's Mondays with the Mayor is Jesse Tohill, our Director of Public Works. Jesse wears many hats for the city of Terre, Haute. I'm sure you may have seen him handling a wide range of tasks, whether that's sidewalk repair, helping out between the street department, wastewater, and parks, or even picking up trash downtown. So Jesse's been a great addition to the team, and we're going to chat a little bit about the infamous 311.
311, yes. So 311 is the Citizens Contact Center, but it really more operates like a complete Citizens Contact platform. So it is the spot where you will call in concerns or make service requests for the city to come out and do repairs like potholes, evaluate sidewalks for repair, just so many different options and services are available to be reported to the city through that platform. We always call it one call sort of to City Hall, but it's almost evolved into a complete communications platform. So you can email the city a request, you can actually text the city a request, or Mayor, our favorite is you download the app.
We love the app.
You use the app to submit that request.
Yep. And here's why we love the app. Let's use something that's going on right now, a lot of spring cleaning. So we've got a lot of limbs. I prefer using the app because when you use the app, you can provide a picture and show where these items are. Of course, we want people to put the limbs and follow the Republic policies from our trash contracts. That way Republic can get them. But say they put them in their tree row instead of in the alley where trash is picked up, they can then provide that picture, which helps us here at the city say, hey, according to the picture, it's in the front, not the back. And that helps speed up the process.
That's very valuable to us. We know exactly what the request looks like. It's a picture. I think another advantage of the app is that, a lot of times if you've signed up or registered for 311 before, you typically are registering an address. As you see issues throughout the city, using the app, that immediately gives you a location of that issue, and that's captured as part of the ticket when you turn it into the city. So many great advantages of using that.
And it allows us to communicate back with you, the constituents, providing updates. A good example is, for example, some trees. We've had a lot of trees reported recently, so we'll go out, we'll inspect, determine if they're dead or dying, but we've also been determining if it's a healthy tree. Currently, in today's day and age, we don't have the funds to remove it, but we can go out and prune it and trim it and take some branches. The communication back to the consumer, the constituent, is really important. So, again, when you're calling in, when you're texting in, when you're emailing in, please make sure to give us your full contact information, and we'll do what we can.
Yes.
Great issue you hit is sidewalks. We've been really reactive with sidewalks, where we respond, we do what we can each year. But moving forward, later this summer, we'll announce 2 new sidewalk projects to connect some new neighborhoods to grocery stores and parks. But what we're also going to do is city engineering is going to take on a project by getting some software, rating all of our sidewalks, just like we rate our streets, and then create a 10-year plan to repair or replace or even install sidewalks throughout the city. So that way we have that playbook, that plan, so when people report concerns, we can say, hey, we're in phase 1, that's phase 2, phase 3, depending on the situation. Sometimes we can move it up, but really, really good feedback. What are some other services we can use 311 on?
Well, we talked about sidewalks, we talked about potholes. We get a lot of service requests that are animal related, be that just a dog on the run or a cat up a tree. We appreciate the feedback. A lot of times, and we've talked about this before, Mayor, we don't always know what's going on everywhere out there. And when we are reported an issue, we're grateful because we do want to provide the city service that is available.
And, I can't give code enforcement enough credit. The men and women at code enforcement, it's a small number, but they're mighty in their force, and they've done a great job of doing as much as they can to respond to calls, whether it be animals or trash and littering. And it can be very difficult to find a dog or a cat. And based off of our labor numbers, it can be hard to track it, but they are doing as much as they can. And on the note of animal control, spade and neuter affects our animal license permits. Those animal license permits, those funds go right into some of the resources, some of the equipment that code enforcement needs to be a top tier animal control division across the state. So that's why it's important to pay those permits, because if not, we cannot fund code enforcement with the tools that they need. Our spay neuter clinic, that should be opening soon. That's a partnership with the Humane Society. They are still looking for a vet, so if anyone knows a veterinarian, please contact the Humane Society. We need it.
Yep, and I think, we recently, communicated some things on social media about your pet licenses, and it's a very modest fee, and it's really, one part of that is trying to bring in a little revenue to support, humane treatment of animals. A lot of that, though, is just to piggyback on that spaying and that neutering need that's out there, and I think if you talk to any of our citizens out there, anybody here at City Hall, we all care for animals. We want to see them done right, but there is a cost associated with that, and getting those animals registered and licensed, spayed and neutered, that's going to go a long way in improving the city.
And we do have a contract with Haute Spay Neuter, so we'll be releasing information on some subsidized spay and neuter services, so that way those individuals who just need a little financial help can also receive that service. I get a lot of questions about, hey, can the city run its own animal control shelter? And truth be told, looking at the financial cost of that, not just to start that program, but really maintain it, at this time, we are not in a financial position to do that. And that's why that partnership with the Humane Society, now currently, we are exploring, working with other shelters, but it can be difficult because most of them are at max capacity. Most of them need volunteers as well. I'll tell you what, if you're watching the show and you are a volunteer for any of our local shelters, please put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, tag that organization, and let's see if we can get some more volunteers to help some of these programs.
And we would rather, I think, support experts, in that field, rather than, try to bring that to the city where, we love our pets. We know to take them out, let them use the restroom, feed them, pet them, be good friends, but we're not experts when it comes to spaying or neutering or those kinds of things. So we'd rather leave it to them.
Yeah, so it's important in that role of government, right? Like, can't be experts at everything. And so you're leveraging resources to put the people who are experts in the best position to have a positive benefit on society. So what are some other projects you're looking forward to this summer? You had a great spring cleanup that you were kind of the officer in charge OIC of.
We had an amazing turnout for the cleanup on April 13th, just this past month, and again, I have to thank code enforcement for their input into that project. Great success. I think we hit over 60 tons. Another, maybe ton or 2 tons of electronics were disposed of that day. So sort of one of my focuses on projects that I'm being tasked with is that, we want to use some city, muscle there, but we also want to rely on volunteers out there. There's a lot of volunteer groups that have made that cleanup a success in the past. We want to make sure that we are treating those groups well and that we're including them in these projects that they're already excited to get involved with. So we're going to do another maybe smaller scale single location cleanup in the summer. And I think we want to sort of focus that one more on beautification. So we're looking for those graffiti spots and stuff like that. I think we want to make graffiti removal a component of that cleanup over the summer.
It's a good step forward. And then in the fall, we'll do it big again. And United Way Neighbors Helping Neighbors was a great program to partner with. Rethink, of course, let us use their facilities to meet up at. And
School Corporation gave us 3, extra locations to place dumpsters at. So it was a big logistical effort by myself, by you, by everybody else, and we could not have made it happen without code enforcement, the street department, Terre Haute wastewater. They helped out. I think they cleaned a couple of lots that day.
They did,
to get them ready for houses to go up there. But also Trees Inc. They were a big part. They actually coordinated one of our drop-off sites
at Woodrow Wilson.
A couple of volunteer groups from the Farrington's Grove area. They took on the Sarah Scott drop-off site. So it was just a little bit of everybody in the community chipping in to make that such a big success that day.
And I've always struggled with, how can a city ask someone, hey, can you keep your yard clean when we're not doing that ourselves with city-owned properties? And wastewater and the street department have really stepped up that lot clearing.
Right.
They're working through a list of 26 right now. Then they're going to start looking into, hey, can we assist in demo to speed up that process? But, we have some large commercial properties we need to take care of. And our goal now is to demolish the Terre Haute police station, the old one, doing some pre-site development. We've got a lot of interested developers there, so we're hoping to not make an announcement, but actually tear that down in the next couple of months, and that'd be a big step forward in our downtown revitalization. 19th and Beach, right, the factory there. We've had good conversations.
Some good news on that, and hopefully there'll be an announcement.
Yeah, I know.
down the road.
Our state and federal partners are all involved now, which slows it down a bit, but it's good to chat with them.
I mean, Mayor, so you've brought great energy to the city, and and along with that, we're getting a lot of good interest in things that maybe sat stagnant for quite a while. So, appreciate that.
Thank you. We've got we're setting some records with the new housing units on remodeling condemned homes as well as new construction. So that's a big focus as we revitalize Terre Haute. Of course, our parks investments will be strong. But Jesse, thanks for spending time with us this afternoon.
Happy to do it.
We're going to put some links up next, some graphics about 311, some other information, some websites. So again, thank you for joining us on Mondays with the Mayor. I'm Brandon Sakbun, 43rd Mayor of Terre Haute, with Jesse Tohill, your Director of Public Works. Thank you, and God bless.